Welcome to the stream with Guardian, and today we're going to be going over well, it's not exactly a new build, but so start of season 17, Bungie nerfed the interaction between 1-2 Punch and WormGods Crest, and I'm here to show you today that WormGods are still as potent as can be, and just to give you a quick sort of overall with the damage buffs that are shown, and I had to do some numbers right with the final product because Carl only has so much health. So the final product for the numbers is a melee of 1,091,839.71. That is just with one melee. And I did the numbers right. 1-2 Punch Burning Fists does 646,059 points of damage, right? That's how much damage it does with just Burning Fists times 5 and a 1-2 Punch shotgun. That's it, right? That is a weapon-bound damage buff, and that's a melee and exotic-bound damage buff. When you add the Arc Elemental Well build of called Well of Ions, it adds 30% boost in melee damage, which brings it to somewhere around 839,000. Somewhere in the 800s, right? In the video, it shows it in the video. It's somewhere around between 820 and 840,000 damage. That's how much points you get. Now, it's kind of embarrassing. I should know this myself, but I'm processing a lot of numbers in my head right now, so I can't be human. But my main concern is if Well of Ions would even stack, right? Because you're already having 3 buffs right there. There's no debuff. That doesn't even include Tractor. Not yet. Right? Because how it works is this is how you stack buffs. You have a weapon-bound damage buff, another buff coming from usually another source like an exotic, and then you have a debuff, and everybody knows is Tractor's a debuff. That is how you stack damage. Bungie doesn't do it in the game, and they do a terrible job of explaining it. As much as I love Bungie, they do a terrible job of how you can interact with buffs. But that's how you stack the buffs, right? And it's the only way to stack buffs. You can't stack buffs upon buffs and debuffs upon debuffs. That's how you stack it, is right there. But there's a few outliers. Font of Might is one of those outliers because it requires elemental wells. It requires a separate source to fuel the actual buff, and it stacks with all of that. There is a YouTuber known as Ironworker Gaming, and I love him. I love how in-depth he is. He talks about that. So if you want to go ahead and check out his video, go to Ironworker Gaming and go ahead and check out his video. And it explains that in there. Here's my theory. For the melee Titan lovers, right? There's another outlier I think I've discovered, and that's Well of Ions. Because, like Font of Might, it requires an elemental well to be triggering that buff. An Arc elemental well, to be specific. So, let's get into the build now that I have explained all that info to you. So it is on Titan, as you can tell. Theme Titan punching. That's 1-2 Punch and WormGods. That should have given that away. For the primary, it doesn't matter. All that matters is the shotgun and the Tractor. That's really. Can you self-activate this without the help of others? Yes, you would have to be insanely fast at activating it. I managed to activate Burning Fist times 5 with 1-2 Punch and Tractor Cannon by myself. Tractor on PS4. And I will link the video in there to show you where. And how you know if 1-2 Punch is activated is you'll see a bunch of 9s. That's how it lets you know that it all stacked properly with 1-2 punch, tractor cannon, and the 1-2 punch shotgun. No, I already said that. And burning fists. That's how you know it's stacked, is you see 9s. And I'll link the video in there along with the rest of the videos. Right? But for the final product, you need somebody with tractor cannon because you need to finish an ad first. The wells last long on the ground, long enough for you to get your stack of ×5, run across, tractor, shotgun, melee. There you go. It's as simple as that. And for my shotgun, we are going to be using Found Verdict Time Lost. It has a wonderful shotgun. I have 1-2 punch, auto-loading holster, accurized rounds, full choke, which tightens the pellet spread. In PvE, it's useful. PvP, it's useless. And a range matched work to improve the damage. Right? And then we got Adept Big One spec, so we don't have to worry about swapping on boss spec, this and that. I can use this 1-2 punch shotgun all over PvE. Endgame, casual, it don't matter. This is my baby. Alright, the build. I'm going to start at the bottom and work our way to the top. Right? We'll start at the Titan mark. Typically this would wear the boots. How you like dress yourself for battle. Alright, so we have Outreach, reduces melee cooldown because it's a 1-2 punch build, right? Obviously you don't see maxed hundreds. There's a reason for that. Having 100 and high other stats is better than having multiple hundreds unless you're lucky with RNG. And with this build, I'm not lucky with RNG, so I have to even out some stats and having one max stat. And Outreach ×2, which is nerfed, sure, you get diminishing returns, but there is nothing else I can put because that requires me to take off the minor recovery, which I like where it's at. It's at a 7. We have Overcharge Wellmaker, and defeating a combat with a finish responds to Arc Elemental Wells. If you are on a subclass with, I believe without Arc, it only spawns 1. That's just how it is. It only spawns 1. And I've done tests, and when I was running 3-mans, for the Freeman Flawless DSC, when for some reason it didn't record all the video and footage on the thing, which cut it off for some reason. Well, I'll have to redo that sometime later. Yeah, it only spawns 1. So you have to go and add extra well mods in there to spawn the 2, in case you accidentally pick one of them up. The next, we have Shotgun Scavenger and Bountiful Wells. Bountiful Wells drops 2 for 1 generation, because I'm on Void. I'm not on Arc. If I was on Arc, it would spawn 2. But if I'm on Void, it would only spawn 1, which is why you need Bountiful Wells. Then I have, it doesn't really matter. It adds +20, but Radiant Light, it's a part of the build, so I should go over it. It adds +20, and it gives you another way to be charged with light, even though I have no reason for to be charged with light, because it's kind of useless. Then we go to the important part. Wall of Ions. Picking up an Arc Elemental Well causes your next melee to deal increased damage, and it is a 30% buff in melee damage. 30% buff. I've done my research. It is 30. Along with this lovely causing damage with your grenade reduces your melee cooldown, and that's just getting a hit. So all you have to do is get a hit, and then it buffs up your melee after you've used it. Because let's say you use 1-2 punch, you've destroyed a target, you're gonna need to get it back. Toss a grenade at something, get a hit, do a couple finishers, and there you go. You'll have it back. But you need some help, and that's where Well of Striking comes into play, and that is picking up an Arc Elemental Well grants additional melee energy. Multiple properties of this mod increase its effect. I only have 1. I only need 1. Don't see any use for any more. Because shotgun. Exactly. Gain bonus super energy or melee kills. Which, melee. Punch. We're always punching. Alright, so that's the build. Now let's go ahead and walk in through the videos, and there are going to be 3 separate videos that go over the stacking and what I went through and did the math first. It's going to be just the Burning Fist, and 1-2 punch. Then it's going to be Burning Fist, 1-2 punch, and the Well of Ions. Then the final one is going to be all three. And that's where I tell you Carl just doesn't have enough health to show. So it maxes out at 99999s. But when you do the math, it comes out to a lovely 1.9 mil. Or 1,991,839.7 more. Alright. That'll be it. Go watch the video and hit the like and subscribe button. We'll be coming out with more Destiny content like this in the future. Like I said, I was coming back, and God has blessed me with wonderful friends, because I will be doing a review video for something that I'm getting as a gift, and I just cannot wait. So I'm going to go credit him. Skylar, you're a homie. Love you. Here, that's perfect. Try to pin him now. I saw 9s. That's stacked. Okay, I'm gonna go over here. Oh, it worked. It's so good. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. There, 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 there. That is the build.